Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of a situation going on with Tricky. Now, it seems like she's been being targeted by some people, especially over on TikTok. Now, we talked a lot about TikTok and how they feel about VTubers. Obviously, there is a, small community of VTuber, fans and stuff, especially as I've seen with some of the posts that I've made over on there with my shorts and stuff. But, of course, there's also a very large amount of people that don't really follow VTubers and tend to go after them, right? And we've seen that especially in the case of, people like ironmouse who have been targeted on TikTok still to this day over a lot of stuff. And we covered that a couple of videos ago. But yeah, it seems that Tricky has now uploaded a post saying, hiya, I've been told someone is impersonating me on TikTok and DMing people as me. This is not me. I do not have an active TikTok account. Be safe, friends. TikTok support. So yeah, it seems like Tricky does not have a TikTok account whatsoever, right? And these three accounts are all obviously, seemingly pretending to be her. Now, one of them is obviously much bigger than the other two, which is very concerning, as, I think this one looks like it is the most impersonatory because, obviously at times there are, people that tend to have like fan accounts or whatever, and they tend to like use their name and maybe use a picture of them, fan art, which is obviously these two. But you can see this one, they're using obviously her name, but also using the same profile picture that she's using here over on Twitter, which obviously can confuse people into thinking that it is the real Tricky. Now, of course, I think it is a pretty interesting way to go about things, and obviously we'll go into as to why they're doing this and what's going on. But this isn't even the worst part, as obviously it is first of all concerning that there are people that are making these accounts, but also secondly it's concerning that obviously people have been being DM'd by her. That is the main issue, right? As I gave them blank pics, a rip, which is quite funny. I say, yeah, they DM'd me too. And as you can see here, obviously it seems like they commented on someone's on their TikTok or whatever, saying I watched this like I was supposed to. Smooth timing and fun energy just followed back. So they're wanting to get attention and whatever, which is horrible to see, as well as them sending them a DM and waving at them, right? And I don't know what this is for. I don't know if they are intending on maybe scamming VTubers, maybe trying to just like, I don't know, be popular. I'm not sure what it is, but it definitely doesn't feel very good at all. And obviously Tricky says, yeah, that gave me insane amounts of ick. I'm so sorry. And you can see here, right, they definitely do want to get people's attention, because if you look right here, they are following more people than they are followed by. So they're obviously following a lot of people pretending to be Tricky and trying to get into spaces and whatever. Now, again, there could be many different reasons for this. Obviously, the first one being just attention seeking. Some people like attention, so they will make fake accounts of other people to just, get that attention and pretend to be Tricky, which obviously is weird, but it is something that happens sometimes. And also there is other, more malicious things. For example, yeah, maybe scamming another VTuber, scamming a fan, maybe out of money or whatever, because of course, if your favorite VTuber asked for money, a lot of people would send that money, right? As sad as it sounds, right? Some people would, if they genuinely believe that it is the person who they say they are. But obviously this isn't. So of course that could also be the case. There could also, there could be so many other things as well, right? They could be making up fake like situations or whatever to kind of sabotage like Tricky herself, pretending to be her, which of course could be the case too. And there could be so many other things as well, or just trying to ruin the reputation, right? With some like bad messages or whatever, which could also be an issue. And of course, yeah, it is rightfully so that Tricky is pretty not happy about this, and is obviously asking TikTok support. Now TikTok support, I don't think they're as active on Twitter, but of course, detect them anyways, who said it was the first to make a post about it a few months ago, actually, because I thought it was you on there, but then they were messaging me about my content creating and trying to improve it, and I got suspicious about it and reported it, plus blocked that account too. So I said, yeah, so it wasn't you asking for 4,000 Amazon gift cards, damn, and obviously that's what a lot of people were saying. So good to know, enough the imposters shall be terminated digitally. It says stupid humans. It's a classic TikTok. So yeah, of course it is becoming a bigger issue, right? And I think what's also concerning as well is the amount of likes that they got on there. on their account, right? They got 47,000 likes. I don't know if it's because they're uploading like VTuber clips. I'm not sure what content they post, but of course that is also a little bit of an issue too, because if they're uploading content, that makes them seem a little bit more legitimate, which of course they are not. Lots of people saying, you know, I knew it sounded sus when the account asked for my soul. What? Damn. Okay, it's a joke. It's okay. I was about to say for a minute, like, bro, imagine you like impersonating. He's like, yeah, can I have your soul, please? Like, all my worldly possessions, a mint condition, bongo and kazooie, game case, and disc. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty funny. So yeah, I have reported them multiple times. Unfortunately, TikTok won't do anything. Wow, the one that literally just took your profile picture isn't even trying, just blatant theft. Thank you for the heads up, because I was about to tag and ask you if this was you or not. I've never really got why people impersonate others. It's been happening a lot lately. Like, is it to get a reaction out of someone, or is it to try and profit off of others? Oh shoot, I've had this happen to me before. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people offering support to Tricky. Now, I think one of the best things to kind of talk about, at least for other VTubers, of course, everyone has their own kind of preferences whenever it comes to this kind of stuff. But I think that, you know, as Tricky says, she doesn't have a TikTok account. She doesn't have an active one that she uses and uploads onto. But I do think it is a kind of thing to, I guess, maybe think about making one. You know, whether it's, you know, Tricky or whether it's someone else that wants to avoid a situation like this in the future. Because if you are a big enough VTuber like Tricky is, or maybe someone else is, you know, a lot of the time you can end up getting verified pretty easily, and people will know that is you, and it will automatically kind of invalidate all the other accounts below you, right? Now, of course, you know, you don't have to make TikToks or whatever, and, you know, it's not like exactly like necessary. But I do think it is a good deterrent from stuff like this happening in the future, because if you don't have an account there, it leaves a huge gap open for people to pretend to be you, right? And I think that is an issue. And of course, it does sound pretty bad to be like, you know, you need to make a TikTok account to make sure other people don't make TikTok accounts of you. But like, to be honest, I think it is the best way to avoid this kind of harassment, because TikTok support isn't really the best. It's pretty bad, and they tend to not respond quickly, and it's also not very obvious, you know, how to actually contact them in the first place. So yeah, I mean, in the future, or if you are a VTuber that is maybe thinking, you know, or maybe getting bigger and whatever over time, I would definitely suggest making a TikTok account, even if you don't post much. Maybe post a couple of videos or whatever, maybe to try and get that verified badge or whatever, especially if you're a big VTuber, and then just kind of leave it there, right? You don't even have to upload after that. You just have to have an account that has like a pretty, you know, big follower base on it, and then once you have that, you don't have to upload, and it could be at the top of the page. But of course, she shouldn't have to do this, because she shouldn't be, you know, getting harassed and be getting targeted like this in the first place. So again, I do hope that TikTok support do it, but just as a kind of, you know, message for other VTubers that potentially want to avoid a situation like this happening to them, you know, as I said, I think making an account and maybe trying to promote it a little bit actually will, in the long run, avoid situations where there are people that actually genuinely do look like your official account when it isn't, because you don't have a single account on there. So yeah, I mean, that is just a bit of advice. Obviously, you don't have to follow that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to have a TikTok account, because I know a lot of people don't like TikTok, which is fair enough. But I think that, you know, sometimes some people like to be safe whenever it comes to that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, I hope that, you know, things do get better for Tricky. I hope that they do find, you know, whatever is going on with this account, and that it gets taken down. But yeah, it is definitely concerning to see, and hopefully, yeah, things get sorted. And of course, any other, you know, VTubers that are having the same issue also go and report it, because again, it is a pretty big issue that happens in the VTubing space pretty commonly. You know, this is an issue that happens quite a lot, and we see it happen to many different VTubers, whether it's, you know, Tricky or, you know, ironmouse, right? It doesn't matter. You know, there are so many people that end up getting impersonated and end up getting kind of fake accounts made of them. And of course, the big question is, what is their motive? What is their intent? Why are they doing this? You know, what is the big idea here? But again, a lot of the time we never know, and sometimes it is something as harmless as they just want attention, right? They're attention freaks, and they just want it by essentially copying off of someone else. But now it seems like, you know, it could be a little bit more malicious with a lot of the DMs and things, which of course can be used to scam people or pretend to be other people as well. So again, yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.